about this feeling, baby, we're invincible.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Notts County. Start today on the page of Corey Bucalosi, which is an absolutely spectacular name. I assume he is of Italian heritage. Let's have a look. Well, he was born in the unknown, so perhaps that's a region of Italy, not sure. But regardless, we must move on. This is going to be quite an action-packed episode. We've got our first game of the season today, which is against Ebbsfleet United away from home. A big game, not really sure where they rank as far as this league goes currently, but let's face it, with the position we're in of having to win every game, basically, or win promotion, every game should be a winnable one for us in theory. And I think we've only, with the signings we've made, which, by the way, no surprises, have all been free transfers, have mostly been, I think we're actually going to be able to do it. I think we've got a strong enough squad. I think, honestly, the squad we had was probably strong enough, but I've just managed to make a couple of signings that I think are going to take us from being a team that could definitely win this league to a team that absolutely should be winning this league. And tactically, I've kind of just built on what we did with Chelsea, but the system and the actual shape is actually slightly different, and there's a few other little things I've had to change as the friendlies just, I don't know, some of them didn't look quite right to me. We'll talk all about that in a minute, along with signings and God knows what, because there's a load of stuff to discuss. Also, I just wanted to mention, those of you that are over on the Patreon, if you are at one of the tiers that can sponsor players and you want to get involved in that, do let me know. Either drop me a message on Patreon or in the comments or on Discord or on Twitter or any of those places, and we can get you guys sponsoring some of the players. You might want to hold off and see who else we've signed, but yeah, let me know. And just in general, I wanted to say thank you for the huge support on the first episode of The Save. That was glorious. I couldn't thank you guys enough for the support. All I can say is, I guess, keep it up. Player rumours, all of that sort of jazz, you're welcome. And there's already loads more. Some of them are already getting started with the player rumours and jazz like that. So that's amazing. Keep it coming. After a brief pit stop in Warsaw for a lad's holiday, Regan Booty has finally returned to English football, aiming to become the Steven Gerrard of non-league. Well, hopefully he can achieve that, because there's no way he's leaving. I've just given him a new 2-year deal, which is glorious. It will go through to 2021, which is nice. And not only that, I've been quite, conservative with contracts, because often I find with these saves that you can come in and renegotiate deals with a lot of players to bring their contracts down. I certainly work with Stockport. It's not been quite as effective this time around, and I think that's because FM have tweaked the way that contracts work so that you can't get quite as much money off of their wages by inserting like relegation release clauses and international clauses like that, which is good. I'm glad that that's the case, because it was a little bit too easy to get their wages down too much, but I have definitely been able to get them down a little bit on certain players, which has been very useful. But then other players have wanted more money, so we've kind of about broke even. Maybe made a little bit back. Where did you get the face packs, Matt? I don't know. I don't know if this is still part of the meme or whether you're genuinely interested, because it's DF11 now. We've not used any of Laura's face packs just yet. This literally got so bad that I actually had a mug made just for it. I mean, it's a really shitty quality mug, because they didn't even put a question mark on it. Like, that's just not acceptable. I've also had to basically bring in an entire new staff because we had no one, which meant that we actually used a lot of the wages, although it didn't really seem to count straight away on staff members. But I felt that was very important, because we had one scout and he was the head scout. We've now filled up those positions, got a head of youth development, director of football, all the stuff filled out. There's still a couple of medical roles, which I'm going to fill in soon. Just a quick note on the competition to win FM20, which you can still enter, of course. I forgot to mention how I was actually going to draw that. I'm just going to find a random comment about a week from today, and I'll find a way to get in touch with you, and that's how we're going to do it, essentially. We also have a new £140,000 a year kit sponsor, which will be very, very helpful indeed. But I think, without further ado, it's time to take a look at some signings. There's only been a few, and we haven't had any outs, not even really had any bids for our players. I was expecting Boldivine to get some bids in for him, but apparently not. Also, little rumour from me, he's got his own vineyard, and would you believe the company's called Bold Wine? So the first player we brought in is Joe Muscat. He's come in on a free transfer, obviously. Doesn't actually have a squad number yet, but do not worry. He came in on a trial. What I've been doing is looking at free transfers, loans, although I haven't really got any loans yet, although I am negotiating one at the moment, which could be like the final piece of the puzzle, so to speak, but we'll talk about him if he joins, probably in the next episode. But yeah, we took a few players in on trials. My scouts came back with a few. I also did a little bit of hunting around myself, just looking at like some of the attributes you can see, so you can filter by them. Some of them you can't. And I just had a few filters set on for like certain things. So I think he's a pretty solid player with solid crossing, dribbling, which is important for this team, reasonable physicals, and a lot of room to improve as he's a 21-year-old. He's only on £770 a week, which I was trying to keep them all under £1,000 for the youngsters if I could. And he's got reasonably solid potential, which is the main kind of thing. And the progress is looking decent as well. I've hid the comparison so you don't get any spoilers on players that we've signed. A reasonable amount of pros as well. So I think Joe Muscat will make an excellent backup to McCrory on that side. And it also brings the squad age down a little bit, which is quite important when it comes to that kind of thing. I have given some of the older players new contracts, but the main reason for that was so that I could get their wages down a little bit, because some of them are on like 1,500 and I brought them down to like 1,100, which just gives us a bit more money to play with. Next up is probably one of my favourite signings we've made this summer. This is Milan Borge. I don't know if you're Dutch in the comments, which I know you are. Do let me know about this guy and his surname particularly. Played for Ajax and then Manchester United, was released, and I thought let's have this guy on trial for a little bit. He looks fantastic. Great crossing, great dribbling, solid in finishing. Composure's not amazing. Great pace and acceleration. The key thing I was looking for these wingers though was the dribbling side of things. I want them to have. He's a very dynamic player. He does have his drawbacks. Like, he's not going to be doing much tracking back. His passing and vision isn't amazing. He's very much a kind of get ball, run with ball, shoot ball at goalkeeper kind of player. And that's fine, because I feel like with Nathan Tyson, we've got a slightly different dimension to our game, but we needed someone like this. And for free, and £800 a week, I really could not say no to picking this guy up. So I'm really, really pleased with this signing. And he's looked solid in, I mean, he's scored 2 goals in pre-season so far in 3 matches. Then is a centre-back. This is Charlie Oliver. He was released, I think, by Brentford. He was at Manchester City for a while, and he actually did come through my scout reports. I was actually looking at another guy we had on trial called Covini, Joe Kevin, or Coveney, I'm guessing his name is. But then this guy came through, and I thought he looked terrific. Like, some of his physicals, they're not too bad. He's 6'1". I would like him to be a bit taller, but still not bad. 12 heading, 11 marking, 12 tackling, 9 passing too, which means he's not bad. Great composure, which I think is a definitely nice feature to have, just so that he's not going to rush things as well. Decent mental stats, quite frankly. So I'm really, really pleased to bring Charlie Oliver. And again, 825 grand. That would be a bit much. £825 a week. I'm all right with that. Very few cons. I've been quite picky about the players we brought in, but again, I've tried to go for young players with a solid-ish current ability, even if they're not a first-team starter, although this guy honestly could. Him and Pierce Bird will be battling it out, along with Rawlinson and another guy I brought in, and decent ability overall. Potential, hopefully, anyway. So, pretty damn pleased with that. And the last of the free signings is Joe Coveney. I decided to bring him in the end just because I thought, why not have one more backup centre-back? He's only on £170 a week. He only initially asked for 220, and I was able to negotiate him down further. He's certainly not in the same league, but for that kind of money on a free transfer, I figured, if nothing else, he's an excellent backup just to have more players in that role. And as a 20-year-old, he could still do a job for us perhaps in cup competitions as well. So I was happy to bring him in on a free transfer. And amazingly, that's all I've done in terms of signings. There is one big loan signing I'm looking at, and it's a player on loan from Fulham, potentially. A lot of the loan signings I looked at seems to be different this year. They very rarely would let us have them for free. Most of the clubs wanted us to pay their full wages, which for a lot of the clubs, the players that we were kind of looking at were sort of players from Championship, League, Upper League One sides, and they were on £3,000 a week, and there was no way we were going to be able to put that down on a loan signing. But Fulham are willing to let us have a guy for his wages, which is, you know, still not great, but he's only on £500 a week. So I'm willing to try and bring him in, and he looks pretty decent. Like, as a Fulham fan, I know he's going to be solid, so that's kind of the plan with him, just kind of going with what I know. So that's very exciting. He'll be joining us, hopefully, unless someone else comes in the next episode, because there were a couple of League Two clubs interested, and you know, let's face it, if he's got a choice, he'll probably choose to go to Salford City. Regan Booty is also now our vice-captain. Not my choice. Well, it was my choice, obviously, but my assistant did recommend it, and he's got great leadership and all sorts. Also, Regan Booty's free kick delivery is sublime. I saw some wonderful deliveries in pre-season, and I really do think we can make the most of that this year and get some good set-piece situations, because we've got some reasonably tall players in the right areas. But unfortunately, he's got food poisoning at the moment, so he may or may not start today. I don't know. I've kind of been working off of a general best 11, and we're kind of rotate around it, so to speak. Right then, let's have a look at the tactics stuff. Also, you guys are so self-deprecating in the comments. Every comment you were telling me about your club, it was like, well, we're not doing well at the moment. Not one person was like, yeah, I'm actually quite content with my football club currently. And I guess that's kind of the state of things. Unless you're like a Liverpool fan right now, I guess there's always going to be some reasons to be a bit disappointed. Unless maybe Sheffield United, I guess. Although then again, you should have won yesterday. You can see the shape. It's pretty reminiscent. Most of the instructions are very similar to what we were doing with Chelsea, but I've had to make adjustments, obviously, because it's a different shape. I didn't want to be playing 2 strikers because it's just way too open at this level. And not only that, it would probably just wouldn't work for us because we don't have the strength in that area. So this is kind of the first 11 that I've been kind of operating on for much of the latest part of pre-season anyway. This area is pretty much the same as it is. These areas, though, I thought, where's the best position to play Booty? Now, he can play deeper, of course, but I didn't really want our playmaker to be sitting so deep. So I wanted to just a standard screening defensive midfielder in the form of Doyle. So we've got a box-to-box midfielder and an attacking playmaker, or an advanced playmaker. I'm not sure if I want to maybe taper this a little bit, maybe make Booty back into a deep line playmaker on support instead, because there's a lot of players surging forward and it could leave us open. I'm open to changing that, definitely. The back line, again, pretty confident with it. We've got a lot of like dribble more on players, even when it's not like built into them. So dribble more is an extra one there. I think Booty's got it as well. No, he doesn't. Brindley, he's the other one that's got it. Basically, anyone with decent dribbling, I've told to use it, because it does seem to be quite a key factor this season. As for this stuff, relatively similar, although we are playing a higher tempo game because we've got really agile and quick players, and moving that ball around fast I think is a really surefire way of us getting through some people, really. The only other change I'm tempted to try for this game, because I feel like with this sort of strategy, when we play too narrow, one thing I did notice in some of the friendlies is that the fullbacks overlapping, particularly, we're getting too much space to get crosses in. And I like playing a wide defensive line, particularly against teams with wingers, because I find that it blocks the crosses. It cuts off the head of the Viper before it has a chance to strike. I'm still tempted to start Regan Booty today, though, because he's basically recovered, but he's definitely going to have to come off. He's got a bad booty at the moment because of the food poisoning. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the bench. Like I tend not to put goalkeepers on the bench because rarely ever do you get a goalkeeping injury, and it's always, particularly when you've only got 5 subs. In fact, I might just clear it again and have a little look. So that's kind of what my assistant reckons. I kind of want to put Pierce Bird on the bench too, just so we've got a centre-back option in there. That kind of gives us a bit of everything, really. Although I think I'd actually rather have Campbell than Dennis, because Campbell's got amazing dribbling, and if we bring him on, he can hopefully just dribble for days. Okay, first match in this save. I am nervous, let's face it. We want to get off to a winning start if we can. Rightio then, let's get on this. We have set up, hang on, have I set up set piece takers? I don't think I have. Okay, so a lot of possession so far, which is a nice sign. I want to play better football this time around. With Chelsea, we were very lumpy at times. I really want to play some nice football in the lower leagues here, Booty. Can he get the shot away? Probably not. Go on, use the width. Brindley's in! Oh, and he shot the near post instead of bloody... Oh, he's offside anyway. Wilson. We're pressing up on them reasonably high too, which I think is definitely limiting their ability to... Oh, God. They definitely could have gotten behind there, and they may well have done. I think Reed's offside, though. Okay, well, he wasn't offside, and Ebbsfleet United have just taken the lead. Okay! I thought he was offside, and that's why I wasn't even concerned about that, but they've got him behind. He makes a run here, and... Oh, yeah. It's because number 34 there on the other side was playing him onside, but he still should have done better at... He does not get across well enough there, and we trail. Oh, that's not good. I might be tempted to go to attacking sooner rather than later. Booty! Oh! Oh, and saved them, putting on the rebound by Wes Thomas. Well, that didn't last long, did it? We were behind for a matter of seconds, and Wes Thomas scores his first goal for the club, I think. I think it's his first goal for the club. Did he sign in the summer? I think he must have done. Lovely ball in from Regan Booty, causing chaos there. I think it's actually Goddard that whips that across. Initial strike is well saved, but there's Wes Thomas on the rebound, and that did not take long for us to get level. Phew, panic over. We've certainly dominated the first sort of 17 minutes. Unfortunate, really, to find ourselves a goal behind. And Boldvine again, he's in. He's probably going to shoot, isn't he? Unfortunately, that's nothing to do with the player. That's just the match engine. McCrory. Doyle with a lot of space to work with here. Bores. Booty. Just whip it across. Mitch Rose. Who's Danny Rose's brother, apparently. Bores. Booty. Here we go. That's a ball. Boldvine can just pick this up and run. Not this time, though, in fact. Here we go. Brindley on the overlap. He's got to find a ball in. Pulls it back for Boldvine. Thomas! Oh, good chance. Should have been 2-1. Booty. Oh, well played through. And where's Thomas? Oh, wow. That was a... Oh, Jesus. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Booty as well, because he actually picked a really nice little pass. Just a lovely little slideral ball through for Wes Thomas, who should be doing better there. Boldvine. Oh, that's a shot. Oh dear, Enzio. I'm encouraged by the fact that they've literally had one shot in the entire game. Oh, we scored again! Charlie Oliver makes it 2-1 to Notts County, and who was there with the assist? It's Regan Booty. That is a delicious delivery, and a lot of what we've done well so far have come from his deliveries and passes in general. What a ball in, and Charlie Oliver absolutely rising like, I don't know, a shark, not a salmon. That's too controversial. Not controversial. Cliche. No. He's somehow got it back. Drops it inside for Bors. Can he get the shot away? And Rose drills it wide. But they can't be any worse than they were in the first half, so we've got to be careful. A 2-0 lead would have been far more comfortable. Hello. Booty's delivery again. Whips it in, and it's cleared away this time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Somebody put a big tackle in. We need one. Oh, and Rose does really well. And he's found Boldvine. Can he get a touch out of his feet? Good save by Holmes. Really nice opportunity again. Maybe just freshen things up in the wide areas, because that's where we're getting a lot of joy. Having some fresh legs in those... I mean, Tootle's not fully match fit, but ball in. Booty! Great save from Holmes. He's getting everywhere. I love it. Goes past one. He's going to have to go past him again. Booty. Does really well. Muscat. Ball in. Boldvine! Oh, there we go. It's 3-1. That's the kind of result that we needed in there. Enzio Boldvine. Lovely assist from Joe Muscat, though. He held on to that ball longer than I thought he would, in all honesty. But he's come up with the goods in the end. Tries to take this lad on twice. Goes for Booty. Booty just slides it back into him again. And it's a lovely ball. Whoa! Pirouettes for days, and Boldvine in at the back post. It's 3-1 Notts County, and we look like we're headed towards an opening day victory. Glorious. And don't those 3D kits look really nice? I didn't even use those last year, but they look really, really good. Don't concede from a corner, guys. Martis, ball... Oh, come on. How is this 3-2? I have got them working on defending set pieces, but we might need to work on a new corner instruction. There's enough players in there to stop that from happening, but Umara's actually scored again. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 3-2 victory away at Ebbsfleet United, but I have to say, the scoreline very much flatters Ebbsfleet in that scenario. Really good performance in general. First goal, disappointing from us, and we were a little bit bad from that corner, but that does show that we've got some weaknesses that we can definitely plug. But from an attacking and domination perspective, I think we've really got something. And it's Wes Thomas, Charlie Oliver, and Enzio Boldivine with the goals. Regan Booty, though, an 8.3. Obviously, their player got man of the match because of the goals. But Booty getting an 8.3 in this match is exactly why I want him in that position. I'm ecstatic with that opening game. It's hard to know. It really is so difficult to know right now. Might come back and do Barrow. Just sort of start things off and see where we are, because I like to try and show you the bigger games, but we don't really know who those games are really at the moment. So we got Stockport up next. I wish I could have shown you that game, or maybe I should have just done this one off camera, but still, I just genuinely didn't look at that. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, and you're looking forward to the way things are going, drop your player rumours in the comments, drop your nicknames for the players in the comments, drop everything in the comments. That'll be awesome. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully we've got 3 home games in the league out of 4 for the next one. I want to try and win. I want 8 points. No, that wouldn't work, would it? Yes, it would actually. I want like 7, 8 points from those matches. I'd be very, very happy if we can take 7 or 8 points from those games. Stockport going to be tough for them. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.